Hello everyone, I'm Deadmedia, and welcome to Saving Popcorn. Just a little bit of information before we get started. The script for this review was written the week it came out in theaters, but through various different goings-on, I didn't record it until September. That said, my recording was completed before the movie's release on physical media per my rules, so that's why this is under Saving Popcorn and not Couch Kernels. Sorry it took so long to get made, but it's here now. Today, I'm going to look at The Boss Baby Family Business. Now, you may be looking at me, which you are, and possibly judging, because I'm a 30-year-old man about to review a PG-rated movie aimed at a younger crowd, but you're watching me, so...
Explain that to your god.
Anyway, let's look at today's criteria, the points by which the movie is going to be scored. For each point earned, one popcorn kernel will be added to our little bucket here. Today, our criteria are as follows: plot and writing, visuals, dialogue, voice acting, and soundtrack. Starting at our first major point, plot and writing. Let me outline the basics of the plot here first. Since the first movie, Tim and Ted have grown up. Tim has gotten married and has 2 daughters, basically aged the same as Tim and Ted were in the first movie. Tim is a stay-at-home dad and his wife is breadwinner. Tim still has the hyperactive imagination he did in the first one. Like if you aged up Calvin. Ted is a high-powered financial type with all the money in the world and none of the family connections, but he sends ridiculous presents to his nieces for birthdays and Christmas. Tabitha, Tim's oldest, gets accepted into a prestigious school, which she's thrilled about. I want to know, though, why kids have to be competitive in high-priced prestigious schools at less than 10.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Tim starts to notice that Tabitha is studying more and playing less. She's getting older. She's leaving childhood. Tim's not ready because he's still basically a big kid. One night, he goes for his usual routine with the missus to tuck Tabitha in, but she no longer wants their goodnight song. She no longer wants a kiss goodnight. Tim leaves her room and goes to the attic, from which he hears noise in Tina's room. Recognizing the possibility, as he remembers the events of the first movie, he goes to her room and just finds his phone laying there, not that pull-string phone thing making the noise. But he was actually right. Tina is with Baby Corp and wants Tim to get Ted to come because he's needed at Baby Corp. Tim says he'll call the next day, but Tina recorded what Tim said. Ted shows up in a giant helicopter and immediately begins fussing over Tabitha because Tina left a voicemail for Ted with phrases Tim said claiming Tabitha was hurt. Tim and Ted go and talk in the kitchen with Tina. Ted doesn't remember Baby Corp and doesn't believe that Tina can talk. Then Tina takes them to Baby Corp with the pacifier things and tells them they need to be made younger by this new and improved formula that Baby Corp has been working on so they can infiltrate Tabitha's school and record what the principal is up to because it means danger for Baby Corp. But they don't know what he's doing. Chaos ensues. That is nuts. And covers half the movie or less. And it doesn't even cover the nightmare creature ex machina that Big Country refers to as Princess Pennywise.
That the power of Christ compels you!
Out, demon spirit!
Yes, I did just use an Exorcist clip in a PG review, what of it? Anyway, the Cliff Notes version is, Tim and Ted are adults. They become kids to infiltrate Tim's kids' school. Like 21 Jump Street, but crazier. However, the writing here helps the movie flow where it doesn't seem fully insane. Like, you just go, oh, okay. Like it's the simplest thing in the world. So for plot and writing, since the writing makes this seem plausible somehow, we will award a kernel. On to our next point, the visuals. If it's not obvious, I'm just looking at how it looks here. You would think it wouldn't matter, but if it looked like my student project... Yeah. Anyway, the studio at hand here is DreamWorks. You know them. You love them. They gave us Shrek. They gave us How to Train Your Dragon. Alright, so the movie looks fairly standard for its character models. They look like a lot of character models these days. The animation looks good, fluid. Nothing stands out as moving janky or anything. It basically looks like the first one. Nothing wrong with that. First one is only 4 years old. I think we can give them a kernel here. Now let's take a look at the dialogue, what the characters say. Dialogue can be hard, or you could just write it like normal people talk, not strange and unusual.
I myself am strange and unusual.
In the case of this movie, though, nothing really stands out in the dialogue department. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Nobody's about to be spouting Boss Baby 2 quotes around the water cooler. We won't be giving a kernel here. On to the voice acting, I think that's a natural step. So firstly, as far as main cast goes, we only have one returning member, Alec Baldwin. Rounding out our main cast are Amy Sedaris as Tina, Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Armstrong, and James Marsden as Tim. We could talk about Tabitha and Carol, but they're mostly sidelined by the main story. Carol's actually sidelined by the B story too, but that doesn't matter. Alec Baldwin seems to be enjoying himself here, and as much as he's less Glengarry Glen Ross than the first time around, he still seems to control the scenes he's in. Amy Sedaris is a more manic business baby than the Baldwin was, but that just comes down to the energy they exude as actors in general. Jeff Goldblum is weird, eccentric, but if you've ever met the man, that isn't acting, unless he's just always acting. James Marsden puts in an enjoyable performance as Tim, though a child with his voice is weird. It almost distracts me from the fact that the adult version of the character was voiced by Tobey Maguire in the first movie. Almost. Overall, though, the vocal performances here were good. Well done all around. Have a kernel. Finally, on to the soundtrack. Basically asking here if the score did its job and made you feel how you were supposed to when you were supposed to. Soundtrack here was capable. Not too much of it really stands out in any memorable way, but at least the most important song of the movie holds your attention the way it should. That's one song, though. With the rest of the soundtrack not standing out, no kernel. And with that, we have our score. Let's just tip out our bucket and see what we have. We have 3 kernels. I enjoyed the movie, but it could have done a few things better, so it scores around the middle. Kids will probably like this one, whether they saw the first one or not. Just maybe don't take them to the late shows, people. Not telling you how to parent, but some people go to the late shows to enjoy their movie more peacefully. That's all I'm saying. Now it's time for our little game. This video is a continuation of the round we started in my rules video. If you haven't watched that but want to play, go look there for your first hint. Now, if you look at my TV, I have another frame from a movie or TV show on screen. Know what it is? Comment below. And whether someone gets it or not, I will reveal the answer next time. And we'll start a new round. Anyway, folks, that's all from me. Did you agree with my review? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
I like your pajama.